All right, I think we're rolling. Oh man, look at this. Ooh, so fresh.
Oh, my notes.
Man.
Oh
boy.
This is this is gonna be one of those episodes. And if anybody who just saw episode 7 of Lovecraft Country can attest, I'm gonna need a TED Talk video to really figure out
some deep dive action.
Yeah, I'm studying right now to try to figure out what happened in that episode. I need me a what they call somebody who knows quantum
physics.
Quantum physics.
Yo, hold up. I don't know space trigonometry. Space trigonometry.
She lost me at mass times density. I was like, all right, it's one of them episodes.
When I saw that.
Well, let's not jump too far ahead. I like to start in chronological order.
All right. So, but first and foremost, man, we're gonna sit back. We're gonna talk about and try to at least analyze some of the kinds. Try. Heavy emphasis on try.
Heavy.
Try to analyze and look at Lovecraft Country.
Episode
7.
Episode 7.
First and foremost, man, I really want to point out, this wonderful, beautiful lava lamp that I just got. You know what I'm saying? My stimulus check came in a little late. When I got it, I just knew I knew what I had to get. First thing I saw, I was like, that lava lamp, I need that.
I thought you put this in your son's room.
Shh.
Speaking of children.
If I bought it, it's mine.
Hey, amen to that, brother.
Thank you.
Good luck explaining to him. Speaking of children.
Kids. What a beautiful segue.
Yeah, this is what I do, bro. Professional.
Make those connections, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Oh, this is good. I like this.
You want to give a shout out to what it is you're drinking?
I don't.
All right.
I do actually. I lied.
Go ahead.
So this is like a little lemonade umeshu concoction.
Umeshu.
Straight from the motherland of Japan. Appreciate that.
All right.
Also, another quick note. Is my shirt colorful enough though? Like that's the only thing I really care about today. Is like, do I have enough colors? And is my shirt loud enough?
Comment. And after you comment, be sure to like, subscribe, and share.
All that good
stuff. If you can make it through the video without your eyes being hurt by that bright ass shirt that you got on.
Actually, I need to turn it up a little bit. Like I feel like I could use another color. Like I have enough like sky blue. I got pink, orange.
Do they make pastel color tie-dyes?
I am gonna Google it.
Or do they all bleed in together?
Man, like trust me, I'm gonna look into it because that is like my dream shirt.
All right, well, we buried the lead.
Thank you. Oh, shit. Okay. Oops.
Speaking of kids, I had a nice segue in Brown.
I did. I wrote it. My bad.
Speaking of children, so
kids.
Are we to assume that Letty is now pregnant?
I think it's heavily implied, if not outright said.
Heavily implied. Couldn't be around the smell of the food.
It was the food. In the dream sequence, she had it was like a little knot in the stomach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like she had like a big bucket of like pasta.
Yeah.
And like it all just went right straight to her stomach. So it wasn't like, oh, that's a baby bump, but it was like that
heading into that first trimester.
Right. Like, or maybe even the second. It was let's go with the second one.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, like before it was like nice and flat and tight, and now it was like looking like mine. Just like got a little roundness to it.
So.
And when she caught fire, when she caught fire in the fire sequence dream, the first thing to burn was her stomach.
Well, started with her stomach.
Started from the bottom.
Now,
See what I did there?
So I just want to touch on that. When her and Tick were talking, they were comparing the dream sequences,
right?
And they realized they both have the dream sequences.
Mm-hmm.
Tick pointed out that even though they both caught fire in the dream,
yes.
Tick pointed out that could you make out what she was saying? Lady was like, well, she didn't say anything to me.
She didn't say a thing.
Her mouth didn't move, but in Tick's, she was speaking.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder the significance of that and why, in fact, is Letty even having a dream, or maybe is.
Go ahead. Because I think you might be onto it. I know you onto it. I can feel it. Go ahead.
Maybe it's because she's pregnant with Tick's baby.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, she got that Freedman blood in her now.
Yeah, she got that Freedman blood.
That blood in her. So now she good. She part of the family. So it's like, Yeah, come on, get some of this dream action too.
So she gets some of the dream action, but she ain't getting the messaging along with it because she's not necessarily part of the family.
Not enough. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she is with the child. Yo, okay. I knew this. I called this like 3 episodes ago. So I don't know if you ever watched Insecure, but I remember there was like a big problem with like nobody ever saw anyone use condoms in Insecure. And I fucking called. I was like, yo, when they first had sex in the bathroom, I was like, yo, he didn't use no condom, dog. That's what I said. That's what I thought. Damn it, I was right.
Well, I'm not. My sexual education is not that well versed.
Okay.
How far back do we go for certain birth controls, or at least for birth control to be a commonplace?
I don't know, but I just remember people was like, oh, they're not using birth control in Insecure.
Because Insecure is modern time.
Well, I'm just saying that I was like, oh, wait, I just...
They ain't getting it in.
They were getting it in.
No.
And that's what happens when you just get it in. Babies.
Yeah, well, back in the 50s, that's how you... That's a whole different story, but...
All right. Is that how it was rolling back then?
That's how it was rolling back then.
Okay.
You know?
All right. My question for you, though, is like, will this play a significance in the future? Or like, if so, how much? Like, how significant is this?
Which part?
The fact that she's pregnant.
We don't know what the significance of any of it, because for one, I mean, you really don't know. Well, we have, which I do want to point out, they didn't even reference anything from last episode, which I'm kind of disappointed in.
Episode
in Korea.
It didn't push the story forward at all. But I thought they were gonna talk about. I thought they were gonna at least like talk about the phone conversation he had.
We didn't even acknowledge it.
Nothing.
That was, I thought it was the whole reason why he was sitting downstairs looking goofy.
He did have the goofy ass face.
But he had the goofy ass face because he was still thinking about the book. So it's like, I wonder why they threw in episode 6. What did that have? It's hard watching shows like this and trying to figure out, especially now we're getting into that back third of the season.
Mm-hmm. They did point out 3 episodes left.
3 episodes left. Now it's kind of like... And I don't want to jump the gun a little bit, but I will point out that it seems like next episode is highly focused on Diana D, which is George and Hippolyta's daughter, who hasn't exactly played a major role up until now. However, she has a lot of what she's been doing has looped. She is the one who handed out the book. She is the one that the travel guide. The black travel guide thing with all
the art and stuff.
Don't go here, don't go there, don't go there, don't go there. And she's created a lot of if she doesn't have any magical powers, she kind of acts as like a what do you call it? Somebody who can see the future, or
a witch.
She operates in a magical powers type of way without acknowledging the like when they introduced those characters, it was like force sensitive.
She's like
not actually a Jedi.
Clairvoyant or something.
Clairvoyant.
Damn it, I'm good.
Clairvoyant.
That's
like
a T word.
Like she's operating in that manner. Like she has it, to the best of our knowledge, she doesn't have any connection to magic, to witchcraft, or any of that. But everything she has introduced has played a big part. In the overall story.
Okay.
Like
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
I always saw her as like a background character. Sometimes she'd pop up in an episode for like a minute or two and then say a couple of one-liners and be gone.
I mean, what was that when they went, episode 3 when they were in the house and she was playing Luigi with her friends.
Yeah, but that was a 2-minute scene and that was it. Yeah. And so what I'm saying is like, with somebody who gets such a little amount of screen time, I kind of relate screen time to like importance. So to me, she wasn't an important character.
I feel like that is a TV show runner or movie maker or anybody in any type of visual art form. That is the trick. That's the trick they use. It's not necessarily about how much screen time you get. Is what you're providing to the story arc with the screen time you give it.
That's fair. Because
like I said, she has been contributing to the story from episode 1.
Fair. She was one of the first characters we were introduced to.
Yeah.
It went, George, Hippolyta, her.
Well, I don't know the order, but yes.
Well, they were in bed kicking it. She was, when Tick came.
Mm-hmm.
So she was right there when, one of the opening scenes.
Yeah, she set the tone for the show. Once it got through the intro with all that weird stuff going on. Yeah, but she set the tone for the show with her book. Once again, episode 3 when she's playing the Ouija and the ghost is moving with the book.
I didn't catch that. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she her and her friends were the ones playing the Ouija board, and come to find out
the house full of ghosts.
With the house full of ghosts, and come to find out that the boy is like, hey, you're gonna have a good trip down south.
Yeah.
Then come to find out, spoiler, I don't know if anybody researched that, but that was actually Emmett Till.
Right.
Well, supposed to be Emmett Till.
Right.
Pardon me.
His likeness.
Yes. What else? She had the part when they went to the museum. Her and her mother were the ones looking at the stars and pointing out the meteors and doing all that. So she's had some very interesting parts in the background.
Just sprinkled there.
Sprinkled in.
But it's like a seasoning, a background season, but it's like pepper. It's like, oh man, that's really strong. Like, it's there. It's strong.
Yeah.
That may not be a good analogy, but it makes sense to me.
But
I get it.
But it's hard tying in all these because you got magic, you got time travel, you got demons, you got
bro, that's a lot.
Race, and it's like, what do all these parts fit into what's happening with the story right now?
So, like you were just saying, this episode, and this not even this episode, but the whole series has had a lot going on. Mm-hmm. But this episode really focused on time travel.
Uh-huh.
Thoughts, points, where you want to carry it? Look, okay. I gotta say this before we even like touch it really.
All right.
This episode, especially like the first 30 minutes, I felt like I was sitting in on like a Zoom space algebra, space trigonometry class. The last 30 minutes was something totally different.
All right.
But the first 30 minutes was just like, I had to breath.
Okay.
What is happening here?
What is happening?
Please, I feel like you might understand some of the concepts.
No, not at all.
You got it.
Well, I mean, look, man. I was watching something today where it's science, it's technological mumbo jumbo. It is theories and numbers and equations that are just beyond my comprehension. I know it's based on something. Something,
right?
That is presumably true if you knew how to. Whatever. I'm gonna just stick to what I know.
All right. She figures out how to use the Ori.
She figured out how to use it. Cracked the code.
Boom.
Was able to get the destination and the key to go to where the actual time machine is.
She went to his little planetarium, his little observatory.
Little observatory, yes.
It's cool that, first of all, I got it. How cool and privileged is it to have like your own private observatory?
With your own security.
With your own security. Private police.
I'm not gonna lie, that part kind of bothered me.
I was like,
I would appreciate it more if the place was like kind of abandoned.
Right, but it's like, no.
Like, is this place being
like monitored by police?
Because it kind of defeats the purpose of her having to go through all that to find the key.
If they already,
if you already got people on around,
like, can't somebody make a damn key and like get this thing rolling?
Like you already got people. Now I know the machine. And I know that the machine necessarily wouldn't have been working.
But it was just a regular key. It wasn't even like a space key. That's some shit you get at Lowe's. That was a Lowe's key. Maybe Home Depot.
But it was a skeleton key though.
Can't get no locksmith?
That's the type of key where you take it like, no, we don't make those.
Come on, somebody put some little clay in there, something, let it harden.
I don't
know how the process works, but I felt like you didn't need to like know space algebra to like get the rotation of the planets and calculate like the tilt of the axis in the Ori to figure out how to.
It was a bit much to get to the key.
But that wasn't even the intense part.
All right.
The intense part is like when she figures out these coordinates. She get the coordinates. She goes there, and it's like 3 different numbers that you gotta like understand and input to manipulate.
Because what she was doing, what that actually was it was just like the coordinates that took her to get there. What those coordinates were, in theory, was alright.
Come on.
I don't want to throw anything out there that makes some smart ass want to try to correct me in the comments.
This is Brown. Welcome to my TED Talk.
So I'm gonna just say it has something to do. It was the coordinates of time, space, and whatever. However you put. So it's like a space in a point in time is an actual coordinate on the map.
Okay. They already said that, right?
Well, she said it. But she actually described it like mass, density, and volume, I believe.
Right. But I was like, what?
So what she was actually doing was actually like, well, it looked like she might have been, before she realized what it was that she was messing with.
Mm-hmm.
She was ready to put in coordinates of a specific point.
Okay. Where was this? Like, I know we don't know. I know we don't know.
I don't think she knew what she was doing.
Dog, she sit there and had the whole math, like the whole scene with her, like figuring out numbers and had like vectors ahead, circles and triangles. And shit.
No, what you are mistaking is somebody understanding the equations as opposed to somebody understanding what it is those equations are for. I think she knew like how to do the math and what this was in the theories it represented, but as far as what that stuff does to unlock, that's something completely different.
I was like, yo, how the fuck did she know this?
You know what I mean? It's like if you saw... Scratch that. I'm not even going to try to come
because I was like, okay, I want to see where you were going to go with this one.
I'm not even going to try.
Did the shit even work?
Yeah, it worked. It was working.
Yeah, but she was able to turn it on. She had to like rotate some things. It turned on. And then she just got to like calculate numbers.
Because what she was doing was she was putting it in place for her to, for what I believe, she was putting it in place to go somewhere without her knowledge of this is what she's doing. She's just doing the equations as she knows how to do them.
Okay.
But she's putting something in place to actually send her ass somewhere.
Okay.
But the machine got shot, and I think with the machine getting broken, it actually...
Oh, boy. And that's when it really just hit the fan.
Because I think that what she ended up doing was creating some type of space-time continuum loophole that took her to...
That's a goddamn mouthful.
You ever see Doctor Strange?
Yes.
You know when he used the time thing and he ended up, instead of like moving it back before he ended up in front of that monster. Dormammu.
Yes. So this bitch opened up the door to Dormammu. That's what happened.
That's
right?
basically what she did.
Yeah.
Yes.
It broke. I was like, wait a minute. Are we still on the? I thought I changed shows for a second because it was like, yo, all of a sudden we dealing with like space fight.
You wanna know why I believe that?
Go.
Because if you had this type of technology,
if I just had like a time machine, my own like personal planetarium.
Not even that. If you were already able to get to Dormammu,
okay,
and now you can go to any other time and place by going through Dormammu, like the way that she fell into that shit, that is a game changer. Like that's like. You get what I mean? Like
yes, but
it's like
okay. Oh,
it's
my
like
brain,
bro,
my brain.
I'm gonna tell you. It's like
come on, man. You're on that stage right now.
I'm ready. It's like right now the way for humans to get to the moon or Mars is by creating a machine that burns fuel that takes us out a straight shot or how you like the most basic ass transportation from one point to another.
Okay.
Right? That is time travel in a sense, right? That's basically what that's what the machine is.
I'm following. All right, let's go. Okay.
Now, imagine if you actually did like the equations to create a wormhole to get to that destination.
Dog, they had to have done that before, right? They had the chair.
What I'm saying is, in this scenario, getting to Dormammu was like the wormhole.
Okay.
I don't think they actually had figured out how to get... I don't even think they know what that is.
So they created the time machine. The time machine existed. It was functional, but they couldn't use it, is what you're saying.
I'm saying the time machine in itself is functional, and maybe or may not they have not have used it. What I'm saying is, where she ended up, is something completely like
where they hadn't gone there.
they hadn't gone.
They used a time machine. They went
They
back
used time
yesterday.
machine. They doing all that
Like,
shit.
oh shit, I went yesterday. Like, okay, I'm
Yes.
gonna go eat this steak again. Not
Yes.
like, oh shit, I'm at Dormammu's house.
It's like, once again, I believe that they have found what they had created is a basic mode, however basic you can
Woo!
describe. A basic mode of transportation.
I drink to that.
What she found was the actual gateway into how to, where the math don't even matter because, but no, that's just how we do things.
Right.
Like that point of that, like that's just how we get there.
Okay. So we're there now. We're there.
We're there.
We're there. All right, we're going there, man. Okay, you want to go there? Go there. Take it there. Where you want to go?
Let's talk about these. Let's talk about Hippolyta's exploits in time travel. Do you want to start with her first landing spot with the Martians and the aliens and or whatever they would be?
It would be the easiest for my brain to comprehend, like a chronological order.
Okay. This is like in a Marvel comic books when they beat like the Watchers or somebody.
Oh yeah,
You know,
it's like, oh shit, we done broke the whole universe.
You
Like,
broke the whole universe. Now you are coming across creatures that exist.
They exist there, but
They
they exist outside of your comprehension.
They exist. This like what's the dimensions? They say
This like 5D beings.
this is weird.
Like, wait a minute, I'm 3D. Like, I can't even comprehend how that shit works. So, before we even get to that, I thought it was cool they threw the police officer into the void.
I thought it was dope too.
That was just they got his ass out the paint.
They shoot through the dead body.
That's what I thought they were gonna do. I thought they were gonna like, yo, let's get them all up out of here.
Well, I think that's what was gonna happen. We'll get there in a second.
Okay,
But
I just want to like acknowledge the coolness of that. Smart.
So what do you think about the Afro alien?
She reminded me. Did you ever watch Steven Universe?
No.
She looked like one of the characters from Steven Universe. I love that fro.
What do you think that is? I think that fro is the entity's interpretation of showing you something that you can.
Dog, are you pulling a contact with Jodie Foster right now? Because that's what that is.
In a sense, yes.
That's contact. Yes. Okay.
I mean,
all right. Well, then, yeah.
In a
It's
sense,
like,
yes. That's okay.
like when they took like her dead father's face, it was like, oh, but you might be like, yes.
Yeah.
This is a form that we thought would be most appealing and easiest to you to understand.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
That was a hell of a fro. Like I really appreciated the boofiness in that.
And I do appreciate how they were like, no, this isn't a prison.
And then they closed and locked her ass in there.
But I don't think I don't think the goal was for her to escape.
She needed to come to understanding.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was a test either.
I feel like she had to get to a point where she could comprehend. I don't know, man. That was really like
in a sense. I think it was like, no, this is not a prison. This is not for you to break out of. It's for you to use and to do what you need to do to get where you have to where you're going.
Right, which is I don't know, like that was really vague to me at the time.
Yeah, I mean,
they put the little machines in her arm, like the little. What do you call it? It looked like a
It was like the Borg or something. It was like, yo, you're now part of us. You're now
yes.
You're not supposed to go home. You're supposed to be part of us. And
like little mini lava lamps right here. I was like, oh, that was cool.
Lamps,
and then shout out to lava lamps. But then she like broke him. She was kind of breaking down. She was going through some things when she was in her room.
I'm surprised. Well, I mean, Brown, you walk through a wormhole and now you sit in front of Dormammu.
Yeah, you know what? I might have some issues too. I might lose it for a bit.
Yeah, you're in the room trying to figure out what to do. All right, so she starts her. They ask her what she wants to be, and she says, "I want to be dancing with." I want to call her Anita Baker. Oh, not Anita Baker. My fault.
No, I'm okay with that.
Josephine Baker.
Anita Baker's fine too.
Oh, you're not gonna You're not gonna mess up her name like you mess up Courtney B. Vance's name.
You mean Ernie Hudson?
Okay, we're gonna edit that out. This Courtney B. Vance.
Yes.
Ernie Hudson.
Ernie B. Vance.
Ernie B. Vance. So she goes with Josephine Baker and
Paris.
In Paris, yes.
Yeah.
Paris, France, 1920s, 30s. And she's with Josephine Baker, and she's living the life of that whole scene. sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Oh man, she started off a little awkward, but she really caught up and was able to roll with it really quickly.
And I want to say though, we did touch on some things as we was watching the show. I'm not too familiar with Hippolyta's backstory. And a lot of that started to reach the surface in this episode in regards to how she felt like she had to dumb herself down. Or, not dumb herself down per se, but she spoke about how she wasn't good enough, or felt like she was good enough for the white people. Which I said...
That was dope. That was... Okay, I made a lot of connections with that part. But let's back it up even before that.
All right.
That was... When we were talking about Dee, the little girl, her daughter, I felt like they sprinkled in a lot of, like, Hippolyta greatness.
Indeed.
Through the entire show so far. Like, when she was able to pick up the phone and call her dad, who's, like, an astronomer, the
seeds were sprinkled.
That was what's it called? Big dick move. That was
big move, yes.
It was. She, as a child, was able to like track and name a comic.
Yeah. They sprinkled. No. I want to say
it was they set the stage for that.
See, this goes back to a previous conversation we was having. We was like, yo,
we did
so and so. So and so hasn't had a lot of scenes. I'm like, well, how meaningful were the scenes that they had? Mm-hmm. And now you get to a point where those previous scenes paid off.
Oh man, the payoff was fantastic.
When I see her doing her Goodwill Hunting thing in the middle of space with the equations going around her head, I'm not even surprised. I'm like, yeah, I see this.
Like right, it doesn't feel out of character.
Exactly.
So she has a really good conversation with Josephine Baker.
I just want to say one thing.
Go.
You appreciated what she said in regards to her backstory and feeling it. They had a beautiful line from Josephine Baker's character, who I will be following that girl on Instagram. I don't know who she is.
Oh, but we're going to find out.
But I'm going to find out.
Links in the description.
She said she was talking about, Hippolyta was talking to her like, you have that look in your face like something's not right. And she was like, you the only one who ever sees all these girls I've been with, you the only one who ever sees it. She compared, she's like, times like this I feel like a star. She was like, not like the light is shining bright on me. She's like, no, I feel magnificent, ancient, and extinguished. I was like, whoa. Heavy on so many levels. Like, nigga, I've been gone, and now people are just still in awe of my greatness, even though I'm no longer here.
I didn't even catch the weight of that statement the first go round.
I was like, ooh, cause that's what a star
Yeah.
The way the light travels, like these stars are already dead. We're seeing stuff on. I'm like, oh man. I said, wow. And just the ancientness of it, and that goes a lot of what's happening in the show. When she said ancient, I'm like, oh man, like with, especially with the time travel into space and with like the heavenly bodies. I was
like, is she a time traveler too?
No, she's just speaking.
It was just heavy, but she's just speaking.
She's just speaking on the beauty. Like these are ancient heavenly bodies that have existed or are existing. Mm-hmm. Or no longer existing. We don't fucking know. It's that we know what we know where we are right now. Mm-hmm. And if I look in the sky, that star can either still be there,
or it cannot.
Extinguished. And it's still, and I can still see it, but at this moment in time, that shit could be gone. Yeah. Could have been dead.
Right.
I'm seeing it now, and that's like, wow. I thought that was a very beautiful scene. And I want to touch on her second trip.
Well, before that though, but like when Hippolyta was talking about how she made herself feel small and she shrunk herself down to sort of fit into like the ideal Negro or like the ideal role of what a black person should be.
And you know what's crazy?
And that she didn't find that freedom until she went to Paris. I think that said a lot about the time then. And it kind of talks about how like people feel that way to this day. That shit was really, to me, that was heavy, and that resonated.
Oh no, that was very heavy. But I think I didn't appreciate that line until later on. And we'll get to that part in a second.
Okay.
So let's talk about her second trip.
Okay. So she recognizes who she is. She's like, I am Hippolyta.
You know the name of the show, right?
I do. Episode
and
7.
You know that's what the alien said to her, or the entity.
I am.
Like, what are you? It's like, I am. I was like, let me write that down.
Like, that's going to be important, huh?
No, but her second trip, what it appears she was on now.
Okay.
I just want to say I appreciate this one, maybe for the wrong reasons, but the way I saw it.
No wrong reasons here.
No wrong reasons, that's fine. So it appears she's in some like tribal African village with Roman Roman Emperor inspired armor and attire.
Yeah.
And then she's preparing what appears like, because she has her hair that it appears she's there for a while.
Right, because she started off with some braids.
And her hair is like down to here by the end of the sequence.
That took years.
Yeah, she's in like some training thing, which is crazy when you think about a time traveler.
Right.
Is it actually years?
I don't know.
How do those years go by when you're a time traveler?
I don't know. Space magic.
Space magic. But then she's prepared for battle. And you see these guys running in what I would describe as Confederate.
It looked like some Confederate gear, right?
Confederate gear.
Yeah, that was really like, huh. But before that, let's take it back let's take it back to the end of the Baker one.
Yeah.
Where she was like, I'm angry and I want to kill white people. She said that.
And then she was transported to, and now, that was a wink and a nod at an aspect of black history that is often ignored, in my opinion. When I see a tribe fighting against Confederate people, there's only one thing I can believe: either this was some African tribe that maintained their culture,
right?
That maintained their culture over on this side of the water, or it was some indigenous tribe.
I didn't know which way it was going, man. I'm
leaning toward the wink and the nod of the indigenous tribe here in America, because you notice how they was on the west.
Okay.
Because of what all they're saying. That's probably the movement of the tribes west.
Okay.
From the. But I like how they threw that in there for the ones that know. I was like, oh, that's a nice touch.
Okay, that was like, hey, wait. Okay.
That's a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, ain't nobody looking like Pocahontas. But yeah, so and then the third trip.
So they win, and she sort of like not blacks out, but she like.
Oh, they lost.
She accepts.
Right, they lost.
She accepts what's happening.
It was like 300.
It was like 15. It was like a nice classroom.
No, there was like 300. The movie.
Oh yeah.
Like,
that was the last thing.
Yeah, that was their last.
That was the last. That was as far as they were gonna go that day. Okay, like they did a great job. That was it though.
Yeah, that was a good job. Good job, buddy. But yeah, in her third trip, she wakes up in her bed. Was what is reminiscent of the first episode. With
Ernie B. Hudson, he came right back, and I was like, "Yo,
Ernie B. Hudson,
aka Uncle George,
Uncle George, alive in the bed, and you know she's telling him about her time traveling,
right?
And he's like, "Wow, you did all that, and you still chose to be Hippolyta, my wife."
Yeah, because she said, "I am Hippolyta, wife of George."
But even by him saying it. She said it, that's one thing. But he said it struck a nerve with her. It struck a nerve with her. And part of her going back to what she was saying about diminishing herself, she blames, through no fault of his own. But
she did. She put the blame right on his doorstep.
I mean, for reasons.
I felt like it might have been, to me, it might have been a reach.
I don't think so, because, you know, when you have... I think when you have a significant other like Hippolyta, and even George admitted it, he's like, yo, your curiosity is what attracted me to you.
See, but I thought George admitted it just to kind of be like, okay, yeah.
No, but see, here's the trick though. Okay, you can't. You have to even if it ain't all the way wrong. There's enough wrong in there for him to be like, yeah, I fucked up. Because think about it, bro.
Go ahead, come on.
He gets in a car and drives around the country.
Okay.
And most of the time, a lot of the time, she ended up staying home.
Okay.
She's the discoverer. She's the one that goes.
But their daughter is so young. What was she doing before that?
That girl ain't that young.
She about 12, 13.
She's about 12, 13.
Tick is like in his late 20s, maybe early 20s. I'm guessing. I could be reaching. What I'm saying is like, what was she doing before the baby?
Before the baby, we don't. And
it's also like, I don't want to put no like patriarchy pants on, but I also feel like if you have kids, somebody has to like raise them, right?
Somebody does. Brown.
So like, I mean, because then like, if that's the case, then she should be like putting some of that on the system.
Hot take.
She should be putting some of that blame on the system and giving that at George.
It's not a blame, Brown. It's not a blame on the system. You can't blame the system. But you're right. Sacrifice is not. There's no system. Sacrifice must be Sacrifice must be made in order for the child. You can't put the child in the car with
That's what I'm saying. Like,
however,
okay,
would it have killed George to be like, all right, babe, you got this one. You get on the road.
I don't know, man. It feels a little dangerous to me.
It is
a lot of dangerous.
But that's not the.
That kind of was the point, though. Like George, it was very dangerous. He had sundown.
George didn't make it back.
He did exactly. You got sundown cities, towns, states.
For whatever reason, bro. There's a lot of reasons to not do something. You know, you make all of these are valid points.
Did she ever say? Because I mean, it wasn't implied that she was like, I'm going on the road too.
I think by that point we see her now. I mean,
and that's true. As soon as George dies, she does take that authority back. It's like she told Tick, get his goddamn hands off her. Get them goddamn hands off my car. My car.
I mean, and then before that, she's like, I'm coming with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
And then also D is older now. So they can make those trips.
Okay.
I think the point being is that by the time where we are now,
at this point in time,
the flame is low.
Okay.
It's damn near extinguished. This is her role. This is what she does.
Mm-hmm. See what you did there? I brought it back.
This is her role. This is what she does. This is where she's at in life. And then through the events of the show, now you're seeing that flame rekindle. Now you see the fire burning brighter and brighter and brighter.
Yeah. So like that, and she had like her last trip was like that reflection piece.
Yeah.
So like you saw her grow hotter. You saw her becoming confident in who she should have been or wanted to have been.
Yeah.
And then at the end, she's like, I understand why I kind of burnt out.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. George had to take that hit though, man.
When you put it like that, it makes sense.
He had to take the hit for whatever reason, whether it be society or raising a family or whatever. It's
check.
It's like, but it didn't stop George from getting on the road.
That's true. That is true. All right,
Brown. Last but not least,
the hardest working black actor besides Ernie B. Hudson in this series,
Michael K. Williams.
Woo!
Always game for any scene.
Every episode, no matter what series, he gets better in every episode.
Boy.
Chunky White. Oh, Chunky. Dog, that was. Because like, okay, if you think about it, like his scene had like it was like two distinct flips. Like he had like the funny angry, and then like the sad angry.
Yeah.
And it was like the contrast between them to me was like hilarious.
Well, we jump right in.
Him and Sammy.
Let's jump right in with him and Sammy.
Sammy, boy, waking up in there, throwing down in the kitchen.
We pick up where we left off in episode 5. Sammy is mighty comfortable.
Oh man, he done moved his stuff in. I see some pictures on the wall. He in there cooking up a store, cooking up all the food.
As long as he ain't was on one of no vegan rames.
I'm glad because they could have did that.
Asshole out.
They could have done that. Like it was in the budget.
It was in the budget.
But they decided against.
You know, and it starts off with him and you know, everything seems.
It seems good. Montrose walk in with his shirt open all the way, not a button in sight.
Yeah.
Feeling himself.
And then you know, they have a casual conversation, and then I think reality just starts. Whatever high Montrose is on, whatever drug he had taken, it worn off.
It was. You can see it wear off.
You can see it wear off.
Yeah, you can see the expression, the joy leave his face. He was like, "Oh," Sammy said, "Oh, I went out and I saw this lady.
I saw this lady with these rags or something," and he was like, "Oh, that's Miss Bernice.
That's my neighbor.
That's my neighbor."
And then he was like, "Oh, he started coming to reality with."
Yeah, he's
with his lifestyle.
Yeah, he's like, "Don't worry." Sam is telling him like, "Don't worry, she didn't see me coming this way or whatever." And he just he's thinking about. You can see his brain work. He's like he's thinking about
making them connections.
He's making them connections, but he's thinking about his life from now on.
Going like, what is it going to look like? He didn't think about it last night in the club.
But I think in the club that was him fully embracing it. Like, fuck it. Well, you know, whatever I do in the dark, I might as well do in the light.
Right. Yeah, and he was happy. He was happy with his choice he made then.
But now it's like, hey man, knowing the path and walking the path. It's two very different things.
Yeah, not the same.
And now he has to get out there and walk the path, and it's just like,
I don't know if he was ready for it.
You're as ready for it as you can be until
you gotta do it.
Well, I mean, like, each instance is a new instance. You know, after you jump one hurdle, then you gotta jump another one, then you gotta jump another one.
See, I thought after you jumped the first one, you're good. It was all smooth sailing. I definitely thought Montrose was about to live his happy life after
Hold that thought. I'm about to. So, next thing you know, they start beefing and turns to an argument.
He complained about the pork. I don't eat pork, baby. Okay. I was like, yo, I thought that first one was legit. And then he started complaining about the grits. Well, my grits so runny.
Why were the grits so runny? Like, what you gonna complain about the coffee being wet?
Okay.
He's like, what you gonna complain about the coffee being wet?
He's like, it's too sweet. Too much sugar. Too much. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know it was conflict and there was a lot of tension there. But to me, it was hilarious.
No, that line was hilarious.
Oh, it though, because I couldn't tell if he was joking or being serious.
Oh, he was dead serious. That deadpan.
I thought it was a joke.
No. It was a joke. But that deadpan read was like, yeah, I got some for your ass. Too much sugar in this coffee.
Oh, hilarious.
And then Sammy, of course, he's like, I got something for you. I'm going to one-up you more. I'm going to walk right out the front door.
And I'm out of here.
I'm going to at 12 noon on a Tuesday.
He called his bluff. Oh, you know, I thought he was about to hit him. Whoa, where you going, baby? You know I love you. Please don't go.
No, walk right out that door.
Who does he see? I thought it was going to...
That arm grab was a little too late.
It was. It should
have hit the door. What are you doing?
I know, get out of here. But he didn't. He tried to stop him in the hallway. And then I thought he was going to run into that neighbor. I was like, oh, that's going to be like a conflict, yes. But one that wasn't going to be a main focal point.
Nah,
who does he run into?
Tick and Letty.
Oh, Tick and Letty. Boy.
Now, I will say, man, and you know, the whole picture was all wrong.
Oh, man.
He got Sammy by the arm.
And it's Sammy of all people.
Then he got his shirt wide open.
The shirt was all the way open at that point.
I got the impression it was early. You know, first of all, this is old black folk early. This is 1950s early.
So what time we thinking? Like 8, 11, 12?
Well, we saw Letty get out of bed. Okay. So we know it was in the morning. Right. Letty got out of bed.
Old black people didn't sleep late.
But see, here's the trick. Letty got up. Tick was already up.
Tick was up there grinding.
But Montrose got up late because Sammy was already cooking.
Sammy went to the grocery store and everything.
Sammy went to the grocery store and everything. So I'm going to say, Brown, I'm going to shoot for about... This is about 11:30.
I was going to give it 10:30. But
that's too early.
Yeah?
This is about 11:30.
Okay, you ain't going to go to nobody's house too early.
This is about 11:30. Because think about it. Cause
especially a dad that you're beefing with.
because Letty had to get dressed.
Mm-hmm.
Letty had to get dressed and put on some clothes, and then they had to get over the, which I don't think was far, but, no, hell yeah, Letty only got that north side.
True. 11:30, 12:30.
It's 11:30, 12. It's 11:45, 12.
It's like a brunch. It's a good old, it's a good old fancy brunch.
Montrose had some good sleep.
Yeah, he was busy, he was putting in work.
Hey, man.
Hey, look, it was heavily implied. As soon as I said the lava lamp kicked on.
Oh, that's what I was wondering what it was doing. Lava lamp woke up. Somebody called for me. Like,
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I'm going to shoot for that. They got over to Montrose house by 11:30, 11:45-ish.
All right.
Yeah, so, and then, and then I want to point to, this is Michael K. Williams at his best.
Oh, man. He always at his best, though.
We
footboy.
Tick is like,
He called him out his name.
he threw that F word out there on him.
The strong one. I don't know if there's like a weak one, but it was hard. I was, oh, whoa.
He threw that F word out there on him.
He did. Boy,
But you call me on my name. Oh,
where did his shirt go? His shirt, did it disappear? That shirt
about?
disappears? It just goes.
Brown. No, that shirt did not disappear, Brown. I saw him taking him.
It wasn't a struggle, though. I thought he
don't want to struggle, but I felt like,
did he take off his belt, too?
no, that's not. The trousers had to stay up.
Okay.
I felt, don't you call me out my name, no.
You gonna respect me,
You
boy.
gonna respect me, boy. And then he hit him with a question that me and you were contemplating before.
This was important because I feel like this defined the relationship between the wife and George.
He said, "Did my mother know?"
Right.
He said, "Yes."
Implications of her knowing.
Well, we talked off camera before.
We have.
And my feelings on that whole conversation is, I think it's kind of, I think it would be more interesting if the character had feelings for Tick's mother as well as lived his alternative lifestyle. I don't see, especially in how sexual preference and all that, all those and the like. For the way we view it in 2020. Now, mind you, this is a modern show with viewing life in 1950s with our own spin on it.
Right.
I think it'll be way more interesting and way more compelling if we don't treat this like some, Montro's just been funny acting since he was 5.
Right.
It's like,
right.
All right, bro, like, I mean, that's kind of...
There's no nuance.
There's no nuance.
There's no nuance if it's like that, right?
So, hey, there's no... I just feel like I've seen that before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you mean to tell me he never had no feelings for Tick's mama?
Right.
Then why was he with her?
All those years, have a kid and everything.
Yeah, why was he with her in the first place then? Why didn't George just have her then? You know what I'm saying? What complicates this? I think it's more complicated if it's not an internal conflict between the characters. He loved Tick's mama. He loved Sammy.
And that's a lot more nuanced and more true to life, I think, than it's just like,
Exactly.
he just lived in this closet.
Yeah,
closet.
It's a society would have accepted him for who he was.
Right.
It's like, maybe he's all of that.
Right.
Wouldn't it be more interesting if he's all of that?
Yes.
Can he be a multifaceted person that had, maybe he liked chicken and steak.
Yes, in a simplistic way to put it.
Maybe he liked rice and peas.
Hey man, good for him.
Or maybe.
Or
maybe he liked rice when he liked rice, and he liked peas when he liked peas.
I just like that it didn't or at least they don't feel like they're gonna shy away from it. And that's cool.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I just feel like that would be way more interesting.
Question though. I have a question for you. I want to take it and flip it. Tick has a problem, and I think the first thing Tick goes to is like he used to beat me because he didn't want me to be soft. Okay. So first he's equating that with being soft, but then he also like he's sort of like looking at the abuse that he went through as a child, and he's like, well, what was that for? Or why did he beat me?
Well, he's realized that he jumped. It's funny that you bring it up because he jumped. He jumped right into solving his own quandary.
Right? Because if you think about it, then it's like if he got those beatings and he internalized it as like my father beat me because he wanted me to be strong. Okay, and I'm the strong man because of that. That might have been like foundational to his character and who he was, or like how he viewed manhood.
Yeah, but Tick isn't. But that's the irony. They ain't strong. I mean, they are like Tick is look, man. First of all, this is a low key. It's a very low key feminist show. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not even low key. Like the white girl is been suppressed by her dad and his secret lies.
His whole all the group of rich white guys.
So she was like, I did all this despite my dad. Even she said in this episode, I did all this to try to prove something to my dad. Then I realized if I got magic, who cares what he thinks? I can do whatever I want. Period.
Right, freedom.
Then you got Ruby, who's trying to. It's a whole show about I don't want to call it women empowerment. I'll just say like you have these female characters that are coming into their own and overcoming where they are in the world and figuring out how to find power in themselves. In regards to the male characters, which tends to happen a lot these days.
Every time Tick, boy, you see. Go through something, he need a hug.
It's not even the fact that he need a hug. It's just the fact that
nothing wrong with hugs. I love me a good hug.
It's like so. What are the men overcoming? That's why I think the Montrose story would be way better if they add something to his story than just whatever they gathered at. But in regards to Tick, there's a lot of broken dudes out there. All these shows about. I don't want to get on my high horse, but
go ahead, get on there.
A lot of these shows now is combating toxic masculinity, and Tick is a prime example of toxic masculinity. He received abuse when he was younger,
right? And
he is dealing with that trauma now, and figuring out what while dealing with what happened to him and what it did to him and who he is now because of it. He's also trying to find his way, he's trying to find his way around it. Like, he's trying to find, like, he talks to Letty about, of trying to be a better person. Or not trying not to be, but at the same time, though, all his toxic masculinity, for example.
Come on.
In this episode, when he comes to try to get the car from Hippolyta, like, I got something important to do. Nigga, shoot the car already. And it's her car.
It's her car. Like, park the car, get the hell out. I'm like, where you going? Like, we need to use the car. It reminded me, he thought he was like Debo, like, this is our car. Like, let me get the car. Like, I need to go somewhere. This is important.
Yeah, then he tried to double.
Like, where you going? Like, hold on, don't come over here and try to check me.
Then he tried to G-check on it. He was like, hey, them orders already been done already.
So, you...
Nigga, it's not even your car, Tick.
Or business, or in business. Yeah. It's literally just going to inject himself in that thing, huh?
Tick is not your business.
Like, he really thought he was going to put that thing in park, hop on up. Like,
yeah, cause
come here, Tick.
Because he comes strolling down the street because he got somewhere.
He got to go somewhere.
Because he got to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Tick, he has these ways about him. Or when he, it's just, you can see him, the wheels turning, and you can see him just processing what has happened to him.
Right, but it wasn't happening in real time, though. It was no process. It was really slow. He was like, he couldn't believe she left, or just like left without, he just knew he was gonna get that car. Like, in Tick's mind, that car, he was coming home with, he was going to Philly with that car.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But watching all the men overcome their toxic masculinity is like one of those, well, I guess this is what we just got to do. You know, best if it only happened in the 1950s as opposed to you trying to make it happen from the 1920s into the 1950s. It's like, oh man, just think how better the world would be. But yeah, man. I like how Montrose once he stood, he bucked on Tick. You know, he was ready. He got caught red-handed. After you get caught red-handed, he was just like, whatever, nigga.
Right, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
You seen that hand hit the hallway? It was a wrap then. You can't, you know.
Let's fight.
Mm-hmm.
And you said yourself, man. I think they equated sexual preference with strength,
mm-hmm.
and it's like, well, that may not necessarily be the case. You know, Tick. You just said it, man. Tick. Every time you look, Tick need to shoulder the crowd.
He do every episode. He is literally, you know.
You know, he needed to leave crying in the bed in episode 6 because of whatever.
He crying in the hallway. He crying outside. He crying in the cave. He was crying in the cave. Yes. Yeah.
He kind of came on board.
Because when he was like, "How you know so much, Montrose, Daddy?"
Oh, he started crying.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like every time you turn around, boy, he crying in the future, he crying in the flashbacks.
Yeah. Tick is a very, very broken man. We're
gonna title this episode "The Brokenness of Tick."
Tick is a very, 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 very broken man. You know, and that's why he's throwing himself so gung ho into this adventure. Because, you know, it's like, bro, who knows what he had done if he had to sit around Chicago and had to think about what Montrose up to. So, you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to watch that show.
I don't watch that show either.
I do not want no part of that show. I'll be like, bro, this ain't for me.
Thank God he was able to get on the bus and go be a hero.
Thank God we have magic, demons, time travel, interstellar space. Yeah. Get Tick something to do.
Yeah. So, shout out to Tick. But I just want to touch on one thing.
Go for it.
I was a little curious, and this is just in regards to how the show ended with Tick. So Hippolyta says she's ready to go home. Oh, actually, she doesn't say it.
But she has implied that she
implied she had to go take care.
She has a choice.
Yeah,
she got a choice. She can go ahead and fully assimilate, you know.
Yeah, and then or go back home.
Go back.
And it shows the world, and it zooms in, and you see Tick get spit out.
Right.
The Lovecraft Country by George Freeman.
Uncle George. Ernie B. Hudson. I was so confused. Boy.
Bruh, first,
please.
We saw Tick did get sucked into the hole too. We saw that.
Okay.
But yeah, did they show Hippolyta in next week's episode?
I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what. Are we in the same universe? I don't know. Cause did her going back in time change anything? I don't know. She mentioned something about like multiple worlds instead of like different universes, just multiple Earths. So she sort of touched on that theory for a second. I don't know, man. I don't know where we're going.
This show, look, for anybody who doesn't watch the show, this show is effing dope.
I mean, it is amazing. Which is why we sit here and talk about it and analyze it for hours.
Look, I want you to know, I very, very seldomly watch a show where it has like 6 different stories going on that I'm all interested in.
Every single one. Every single plot path.
Ruby, I'm interested with Ruby got going on. I'm interested with Tick got going on. I'm interested with they done pulled Hippolyta to the front.
She's in the front. She's in the front seat. She's driving at this point.
A little bit with Montrose.
And Montrose too, because there's still a lot of unanswered questions with Montrose.
Yeah, but all the reason I say that about Montrose, it don't really have nothing to do with the sexual preference. Maybe,
no, not at all. It's about how does he know so much?
No, we already know he went looking before Tick and then went looking.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that's the whole. That ain't it. That ain't even it. That ain't him. Because Tick went and he went. It was a dead end. That was a dead end.
Nah, even when he just to find the aunt.
Yeah.
No, I mean the friend of the
aunt's friend,
some shit like
cousin. Mother's cousin's friend.
He was able to see you.
Catch your breath.
Pardon me. He was able to see the birthmark, the matching birthmarks.
Okay. Yeah.
But even still, I think my whole thing about Montrose is like, as far as we can see right now, his story ain't as grand as what's going on with the magic and space traveling and all.
Just wait for it.
It's something going on.
Chocolate White not gonna let you down.
Hey man, 20 years he hasn't so far.
So I mean, yeah, 3 episodes left.
3 episodes left, man.
Okay.
The show's great.
It is, man. All right, people out there, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
All that good stuff. Yeah, and let us know how y'all feel in the comments, man. It's a dope show.
Yeah, drop a like too. While you
Drop a like. And anybody want to explain all this? Look, all that space math.
If you got the space math knowledge, keep that shit to yourself.
No, drop it in the comments.
Please don't.
I want to see algorithms.
I ain't.
I want to see all.
Show your math. Show your work.
Show your work.
Show your work.
Show your work in the comments section.
Damn.